Okay, Rabotai. Today, I'd like to discuss the beracha of Ephraim and Menashe. Now, Yaakov comes to, actually Yosef brings his children. Who was his children? Menashe and Ephraim. And now, who's older, Menashe or Ephraim? Who knows? My daughter, she's in 3rd grade. She's telling me who's older. Guys, let's go. Yeah. Well, it's Ephraim or Menashe. I'm saying, this guy. Exactly. Bottom line is, right? Menashe was older. Right? For the record, yeah. Menashe was older. But who's supposed to get the beracha first? Menashe. Meaning to say, not that they got it at the same time. Basically, Yaakov put his children, right, on the right side, the older one, which was Menashe, and on the left side, Ephraim, because when you make the beracha, the right hand will bless Menashe. The right hand, Yosef put it. I said Yaakov Mechila. Yosef put his 2 children in front of Yaakov, one on the right, which was Menashe, and in front of Yaakov on the left was Ephraim, the young one. And we all know that he switched his hands. Yaakov switched his hands, and he put the right hand he put on Ephraim, and the left hand on Menashe. Now, of course, the obvious question is why? Why? So the answer is because he saw that who's going to be coming out greater?
The younger one.
From Ephraim is going to come out Yehoshua. Don't get me wrong, Menashe is going to have also Gideon, one of the Shoftim. But from Ephraim is going to be a great leader of Yehoshua. Therefore, he gets the beracha first. He gets like the right hand beracha on the right side. But I had a question when I was learning this. I said, I don't understand something. Because of your descendants, what's going to come out of you makes you greater now. Good question. Yeah, I see in the future you're going to have Sadiq. But what should I tell you? I'm saying, you're not so great, but your future. Of course, Ephraim was great, and Menashe was great, but on its own right, they're great, right? They're big people. Menashe and Ephraim is big people. So at the end of the day, how could you come out and say, oh yeah, Ephraim is going to get the first beracha? Why is Ephraim going to get the first beracha? Oh, because from him is going to come Yehoshua. And only from him is going to come Gideon. And you're right, it's also big stuff, but he's going to have Yehoshua, the leader of the thing. So that's why he deserves the first beracha. What is that?
Maybe giving him that bracha, it was going to fulfill.
You had a question. Good question, no?
Yes.
You have to be great on your own. You yourself have to be of stature, right? The fact if I see 2 people, are you greater than him? I see not what's gonna be in the future generations, what you're gonna have and what he's gonna have. No, I see you and the now. Now, are you greater than this person or no? So if you're not, so what are you doing? What's going on? No, I see in the future that he's going to have Yehoshua. To this, I'm going to give you a personal answer. And I saw it also as well. Now, firstly, I'd like to say, for somebody great to come from you, that means you yourself, not always, but usually, sometimes, you yourself is a great person. You have greatness in you. Usually, sometimes, not always, but sometimes, right, you have greatness. What was the greatness that we could say of Ephraim? And that is, there's a famous Rabbi Yosef Palacci. Who was Rabbi Yosef Palacci? Who wrote the Shulchan Aruch? Now, they bring down, Sfarim HaKadoshim bring down, at the generation of Yosef Kairo's time of the Shulchan Aruch, there was 3 Yosefs. 3 Yosefs, all having the capabilities of writing the Shulchan Aruch. So why did he have the zechut of Yosef Kairo out of all the other Yosefs? And they write, by the way, so I don't want to say the names, but they wrote Yosef exactly the names of the people, like this name and that name. How come Yosef Kairo was the one to be zochet to write the Shulchan Aruch? That we hold by him. That we everything. You know what I'm saying? This is the letter of the law. You know what I'm saying? Everybody understands. You know, you want to know the halakha, you look at the Shulchan Aruch, bottom line. You know what I'm saying? The Ramah of Ashkenazim, they see whatever, but Shulchan Aruch says Ashkenazim also follow Shulchan Aruch. Sometimes the Ramah argues. Okay, when the Ramah argues, they'll go to Ramah, but usually they all the time the Shulchan Aruch, Ramah doesn't argue, they go to Shulchan Aruch. So everybody's going to Shulchan Aruch. What was he zocher out of all these three Yosefs? Very good. I see you heard this. Very good, Mo. Because out of all the Yosefs, he was the most humble out of all of them. Now, don't get me wrong; they were all humble. All three Yosefs were humble. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to even have the knowledge to be able to write the Shulchan Aruch. You know what I'm saying? They all had the knowledge to write the Shulchan Aruch. They all had that knowledge. But out of all three, Yosef Cairo, Chacham Rabbi Yosef Cairo, was the greatest in humility. So therefore Hashem was mezakeh him. Hashem was mezakeh him. I saw the same thing with Ephraim. Ephraim was extremely, of course they were all humble, don't get me wrong. Menashe was humble, Ephraim was humble, but who was had a little bit more humility? Ephraim? Okay, we'll give it to Ephraim. Yeshua's going to come out of Ephraim and this. Because the humility, even in the now, Ephraim had a greater humility. Now, they were both humble, but the greater humility, Ephraim. And therefore he was zocheh. And that's why a person has to understand. It says, V'la anavim yiten achen. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives chen, a charm to the people who are anav. You're humble. And heaven forbid, that's why a person wants beracha in his life. He wants things in life. You have to have a klei kibul. You have to have a utensil to accept the beracha. One of the midot that a person that Hashem loves the most, one of those is humility. And how do we see that? You see that even by Moshe Rabbeinu. Out of all the character traits that you could pick in the whole Torah, what does it speak about Moshe? Moshe Anav, Mikol Adam. That's it, Moshe Anav was the most Anav. Mikol Adam was the biggest Anav. You know, that he could have said anything. What do they say about Moshe? Anav. That is the point. And by the way, if you look in Mislei Yeshrim, he speaks about Anavah. The midah of Anavah is the highest midah. Because when a person Anav, already, he humbles himself. So he humbles himself to his creator. Hashem, what do you want? You want this? I'm going to do this. Imagine if a person's humble and God tells you to do something, you're not going to reject it. Whatever you say. You're Hashem. Whatever you say, my master, I'm ready to do it. Everything you want. But if a person's Ga'avah, he starts thinking, what should I do? So what? He told me to do it. Big deal. You know who I am? What are you, crazy? And the more humble you are, the more greatness you will become anyway, in any case. The Shekhinah wants to, of course, heaven forbid, a person, let's say, it says, one of the three things that Hashem cries over every day of a person, one of the things says, Meseh Hagigah in the first perek. I'll tell you one of the three. One of the three is, Parnes Hamidkav'eh ala tzibur. A parnes, a leader that has ga'avah, has arrogance over the people. What are you having arrogance about? Hashem put you in power. He's crying over the guy. I feel bad for the guy. Well, you have arrogance over the people? What are you kidding me? So Hashem put you in power, so therefore you feel that you have the ability and you have the rights to go over. No. They bring down the Sfarim HaKadoshim. The greater you are, the more humble you have to become. So that means, imagine Moshe Rabbeinu, he's so great. You know how more humble he is? Because of his greatness, because Moshe Rabbeinu was because his greatness is so high, so he becomes more humble than everybody else. That means the guy has nothing, has zero, he's all boils, and then he comes to Moshe with a question. Oh, Moshe, could I ask you a question? And Moshe is the happiest guy. I can't believe somebody asked me a question. This guy asked me a question. I'm so happy. What are you so happy? The guy's he's wearing rags. No, somebody asked me a question. Oh my goodness, you're asking me to scale his vote. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. He was happy. Wow. He felt humbled to the most. And this is really the great lesson. A person wants to achieve greatness. Of course, there's a lot of achievement of greatness. But one of the successes of our life is humility. I'll never forget my mother. She should give a long life. What happened was, I was with her one time, and we were standing in front of a pharmacy. The guy present buying medication, this. And there was a very, very wealthy lady with a crazy fur coat and a crazy car and da. So my mother sees her and she knows, she's friends with her. Oh, how are you? I miss you. I didn't see you in such a long time. How are you? How's everything? And that was like with such a great hello and everything like that. And then I saw, eyewitness. I saw the next second, a very poor lady came out of pharmaceutical with her teeth were literally black, missing teeth. She was missing teeth, black. She was very raggedy. My mother said hello the same exact way from rich to the poor. She didn't even disintegrate. I was like, Ma, that's amazing what you just did. I was like, what do you mean? What did I do? So she didn't even realize what. I was like, you gave the same honor to the rich and to the poor. You understand? And that's why. Why should anybody have arrogance? Because the person has a lot of extra zeros in the bank account. Therefore, Hashem can take it away in any second. Do you know that? So what are you arrogant about? Oh, look at me, that guy's driving with a crazy car, gelled back here, walks out of his car oh, look at my belt, big fat belt, What do you think you are? I'm saying, if you have gava, sometimes they're humble inside, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, but I'm saying the point that we're bringing out here today is that the person, the more humble you are, first of all, the more you're a recipient of more barakah in your life. The more of your recipient, like you see by Ephraim, like you see Moshe Rabbeinu, and like you see where by Rabbi Yosef Cairo. This is a great lesson we learn